Hello and welcome to this video. In the last video, we saw how to check diversity visa issuances by country of chargeability. Now, this time around, it is not just diversity visas and it is not by country of chargeability. Instead, it is all United States immigrant visas issued at U.S. embassies and consulates. Now, in order for us to do that, as we usually do, let us go over to Issuances' website and make use of the data that he has made available to us there. Welcome to this website. For those of you who are not familiar with it, I'm going to include a link in the description of this video to allow you to access it. In the left menu here, there are links leading to different pages on this website. The one you use to check immigrant visa issuances at U.S. embassies and consulates is this one, IV Issuances by Post. Click on it, and this is the page to use. Immigrant visa or IV Issuances by Post. The data on this page are shown in the form of a graph where you have different colors representing different types of U.S. immigrant visas. For example, the green color represents the number of diversity visas issued out. The gray is for employment-based immigrant visas. The pink for family-sponsored immigrant visas. The yellow for immediate relatives. And then finally, the blue for other forms of U.S. immigrant visas. These different forms of immigrant visas are represented in the different columns in this graph. The data here dates back to March 2017 and it goes up to December 2022. Now, it is at December 2022 just for the time being. As we progress in the 2023 fiscal year, data will be made available for subsequent months in this fiscal year. And it's not just for this fiscal year, it's going to continue for subsequent fiscal years as those fiscal years come to pass. Now, what is interesting is that in case you point to any of these columns, you view the data for the specific period. So, what we have on the screen now represents March 2017 when 5,488 diversity visas were issued out, 2,256 employment-based visas were issued out, 18,120 family-sponsored immigrant visas were issued out, etc. You can point to any of these columns and you will get the details of the data for that period. Now, at the bottom of this graph, you have buttons that allow you to filter the months and the years. As I said, the years date back to 2017 and the latest so far is 2022. So you could choose any year from that period. And then you could use the upper buttons to choose the month that is of interest to you. So, for example, choosing 2022, we have the various data from January 2022 to December 2022. That could be done for any year from 2017 to 2022 and any month within that period. Now, with that, use the Choose an Embassy box above and enter the name of the embassy or consulate that you would like to have immigrant visa data for. You can click on monthly in case you are interested in viewing the data by month, or on annually in case it is the yearly data that is of interest to you. Now, trying that with a couple of U.S. foreign posts, we have Nairobi, for example. Click on it, and then that shows us the immigrant visa issuances for the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi for the year 2022. Now, as we said, you could change the year to any year, for example, 2021, and then you have the data for that year, 2020, the same, etc. Taking another post, for example, Abu Dhabi, we choose annually, and then this is what we have. These are the details of the U.S. immigrant visas that were issued out at the U.S. Embassy in Abu Dhabi, the UAE, during the fiscal year 2022. That could also be done with Suva, Fiji. That's another example. We could choose annually, for example, and then we have the data from fiscal year 2017 up to the first 3 months of fiscal year 2023. As we said, just point to any of these columns, and then you will see the details of the data for the period concerned. So you could do the same for any U.S. embassy or consulate and get to view the data concerning immigrant visa issuances at that embassy or consulate during the past years or months. All right, so that is it. That is how you go about checking the number of U.S. immigrant visas issued out at different embassies and consulates during the past months or years. And that brings us to the end of today's discussion. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Until then, God willing, goodbye.